Is this Poco F8 Pro the new flagship killer? So of course, calling a phone like this a flagship killer is a bold statement. So let's go through and see if it's actually true. So right off the bat, this doesn't feel like the cheap Pocos of the past. They've gone with an aluminium frame and glass back. It's got a little bit of heft to it, but it's just 199 grams and it definitely feels solid in the hands. I'm rocking the titanium silver version and it looks incredibly clean. Plus we have a proper IP68 rating, so no more panicking if you drop it in the puddle. And one thing that I noticed straight away with the F8 Pro is just the more manageable size. 6.59-inch display is not small, of course, but it is in comparison to the near 7 inches of the Ultra phones coming out these days. And it's something that I noticed right off the bat. And the screen is an area where Poco definitely didn't cut any corners. It's a 1.5K AMOLED panel. They're calling Hyper RGB. Basically, it's super vibrant. With the headline stat, 3,500 nits of peak brightness. And I took this out in direct sunlight and you could read everything, no problems. And it's also got Gorilla Glass 7i, so it should handle a few keys in your pocket without any drama. But that is if you remove the pre-applied screen protector that comes on the phone out of the box, which I haven't done. So with that coming out of the box, you've definitely got even extra protection there. And it's also a 120 Hz panel, so just everyday scrolling is as smooth as butter, and games look really great on this display overall. And those bezels are really slim as well around the outside. And then when it comes to performance, this is the F8 Pro's bread and butter. It's running the Snapdragon 8 Elite, of course, the flagship chip from last year. But this chip is absolutely amazing for everyday performance, high intense gaming. It handles with no problems whatsoever. It's essentially a cheat code for mid-range phones. It's just buttery smooth, there's no lag, there's no stutters, and the 12 gigs of RAM keeps everything open in the background. And like I said, when it comes to gaming on the Poco F8 Pro, it handles it without a bead of sweat. I can assure you of that right now. It's got what Poco are calling an ice loop cooling system. For those longer gaming sessions, the phone shouldn't get too warm at all. So if you are a bit of a heavy gamer and you don't want to spend £1,000, 1,200 quid on a flagship phone, this is where your money should go. And then when it comes to the cameras, this is where Poco, I don't want to say could have done a little bit better, but there are definitely a couple of downsides. So you've got a triple lens camera system on the Poco F8 Pro. You've got a 50 megapixel main camera, which uses a Light Fusion 800 sensor. And you've also got a 50 megapixel telephoto camera with 2.5x optical zoom. But the only weak link when it comes to this camera system, unfortunately, is that ultra wide camera. It's just a bog standard 8 megapixel ultra wide that you often find on phones that are considerably cheaper, like cheap Motorola's for a couple of £100 have those ultra wide cameras. So that's just one of the main areas that it is a bit of a dip. But overall photos coming from the main camera are pretty great actually. Colors are punchy. They can be a little bit saturated for some, but they are great for instant uploading on Instagram and stuff like that. Detail is pretty good as well. And then switch into that 2.5x optical zoom, you get some really nice photos as well. Color is pretty similar to that main camera and you don't lose much in terms of detail. Just an overall great telephoto camera as well. Naturally, that 8 megapixel ultra wide is where the phone does falter a little bit. It's fine for a quick group shot, but it does lack the detail of the other two lenses. But still, for an upper mid-range phone, having a dedicated telephoto camera is a definite win. And you do also get a 20 megapixel selfie camera. And personally, this isn't one of my favorites. It's fine, give it enough light and it gets you some pretty decent photos. But overall, I don't know, there's just something about the look of them. I prefer selfies coming from like the Honor 400 Pro, for example. I do have a camera comparison, a daylight camera comparison video with the Poco F8 Pro and the Honor 400 Pro video. Depending on when you see this video, it may or may not be live. Definitely check that video out as well. But yeah, overall, selfie photos aren't my favorite personally in comparison to other phones I've used, and it unfortunately caps at just 1080p video recording. I say unfortunately, for me, that's absolutely fine. I never shoot 4K video, so that's absolutely fine. And you do get support for up to 8K video recording from this main camera as well. Again, I don't even shoot 4K, so I'm not going to shoot 8K. But for those of you that want to, the option is there. Now let's talk the brains and the wardrobe space on the Poco F8 Pro. Now out of the box, the F8 Pro comes packing Android 16 with HyperOS 3.0 on top. Now, if you're familiar with Poco and Xiaomi phones, it's about what you'd expect from any of those phones on this phone as well. You do get a promise of 4 major Android updates and 6 years of security patches. And overall, HyperOS is just the usual, really. There's plenty of bloatware that you might want to delete immediately, like games. I mean, if I just open up the games folder that's already on the phone, there they all are, and I will be getting rid of those. You've got the usual Hyper Island, which is basically their take on Dynamic Island, which is actually useful for timers and music. And you get the usual customization bits and bobs with themes, wallpapers, fonts, and all those bits and bobs. I'm not going into detail with all of the software features. You'll have to check out another video for that. Overall, HyperOS isn't one of my favorite software skins, but you know, remove all of the games and all the other rubbish that's on there. Yeah, I can definitely get used to this. And you're also getting 12 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM as standard. I think there is a model with 16 gigs of RAM in either 256 or 512 gigs of UFS 4.1 storage. So some of the fastest storage around. Just bear in mind that there's no micro SD card support. So if you are planning on having loads of games and photos and stuff, I would always go for that 512 gigs model. But for most people, I think 256 gigs will be enough. And I certainly think battery life on a phone of this size is an absolute win. Packing a large 6,210 mAh battery, you can definitely get 2 days of light use or 1 very heavy day of gaming and 5G. And when it dies, the 100-watt charger gets you full in just under 40 minutes. So overall, a really great battery and charging experience. You do miss out on wireless charging, but personally for me, I don't care. I don't use wireless charging on any of the phones that I have anyway, even if it's fast wireless charging. So I'm not bothered about that. And also a quick shout out to the speakers. Of course, they are tuned by Bose. The star of the show is on the F8 Ultra, but here's a quick sample of the speakers. Strong drop protection, not just splash resistant marketing. You can drop the phone from a distance of 2.5 meters with no damage, and you can even go as far as putting this phone in boiling water for 10 seconds. And all of that durability matters because this feels like a phone that you don't need to baby. Throw it in a bag, use it in the rain, don't panic every time it slips, and that's the vibe here. And they actually sound pretty good. There's plenty of bass, lots of clarity. I don't see any issues with those speakers whatsoever. So for around 550, 600 quid, is the Poco F8 Pro worth it? Now, if you care about raw power, a really great battery life and charging experience, great speakers, overall, oh, and a really nice display, the F8 Pro is a really great option. Now, if you care more about having wireless charging, I don't, and a better camera experience, I would definitely consider looking elsewhere. But overall, the F8 Pro is still a fantastic phone. 4 years of software updates as well. Overall, a great phone. Let me know what you think of the F8 Pro, and I'll catch you in the next one.